when you're at home, it sounds as if even sort of contacting someone about sort of being depressed, you feeling this way, was extremely. You really didn't. You felt as if you really didn't want to do that. But I mean, now you're at university and you're sort of making a film about depression.
Yeah.
And sort of within it, you're putting your own experience of depression, which is quite a massive leap.
Yeah.
Where's the difference come from?
There's a lot of fear has been removed from me. So when I was at home, a massive fear I had was telling people, especially like telling my parents, because a fear that they think it was their fault, and especially with something like depression, because there's been times where I've felt suicidal, and it's a huge thing to put on someone that, and especially on parents who like look that they care for you so much, and for them to hear that their child might want to do that is so difficult, and a huge burden. And I think that's where I think the real change has happened. I've started feeling less like a burden, less like me having it will affect other people's lives negatively, and that's why I think I've developed the confidence to do something like this, because I see my own condition not as a burden to other people anymore. So just for the camera, what's your name and what do you do here at the university?
Okay, my name is Jill Lee and I'm a wellbeing advisor here. What that means is I have a qualification in social work and in psychology. So I'm a qualified social worker. And in a way I feel like I'm doing a similar job as I did out in the community. I work with people, students, who have or may have mental health concern. And my role is to put together a way of supporting that student so that they've got the best crack of the whip as they could have, that they can get on with their degree despite whatever difficulties they have around mental health. I think when people first realise that they have a mental health problem, it's an identity shift that they have to take on board, and the stigma is part of that. I mean, there's lots of identity shifts we have, but some of them are positive or seen as positive.
Yeah.
And when there's stigma involved, it's different.
Yeah, that's interesting, because part of an issue that I already had was very much thinking that my kind of depressive behaviour was part of me. It was very hard for me to separate what was the condition and what was me, because I'd associated so much myself with it.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. And you really have to be able to become very neutral towards it and see it from outside to actually. Yeah.
I sometimes say to students, it's like if you broke your leg. If you broke your leg,
yeah,
you wouldn't think, oh, I'm your broken leg. You think, I'm sure we're the temporary broken leg.
Yeah.
And it's going to get better. And also, there wouldn't be a stigma. If you hurt yourself playing football, you break your leg, no one points a finger, do they?
No.
obviously your life, it sounds as if you're having like you value coming to university and stuff. How is your life different now from before you came to university and you learn all these things and you sort of learn about yourself?
I was confused a lot of the time, and I'm kind of paranoid. You know, my world felt very small, and I felt really trapped from where I was.
Where were you?
I was just at home in a suburb just outside London, the most lifeless suburb. And there wasn't anything going on, and there's kind of just a culture of you just go to the pub. It's like all you do, and I was a lot more vulnerable to this stuff because I didn't understand what it was, you know, and I believed myself when I was telling myself that I was like worthless and that there was never going to be any time in life that I would be happy, because when you're in that kind of state you genuinely don't believe that there would be any time in your life that you'll ever be happy. And now I can say maybe I'm wrong, you know, but back then I just believed it. I was a lot more gullible to my thoughts. One reason it was difficult at home was because it was where I'd always lived, and it's really hard to make a dramatic change in yourself when your environment's the same. And so the change of environment led to changes. But also at home, I would go to the doctor, and because it's a condition that's spread over like kind of all is everywhere, you know, it's in all people. They treat anyone who comes along with it as different, and I think perhaps it's seen more as I was just an angsty teenager. Actually, I felt that's a bit how I was treated. From my experience and what I've looked at, I think that depression, I imagine other mental health issues, it's a lot to do with support and just having people around who can help. Yeah.
The right help early on makes such a difference. And I think that's why I like working in this work, because where I worked before, I was working with people, older people, and now I'm working with, you know, young people. And often when they come to me, I'm the first port of call, really, the first, you know, worker, professional that they're going to come across. And so hopefully, you know, they're not damaged yet by the system. Yeah, they're more open.
I'm going to call the film "Telling Secrets." Why that title?
Because I think that depression is something that is hidden, and people are afraid to say it, and it's really personal. And for people to actually do something about it really does feel like they're telling something secret about themselves. It feels so personal, and it feels like it's about themselves. Sometimes it's good to tell secrets. Let them out, get them off your chest.
You got any other secrets you want to tell us?
It's the camera knowledge.